Alright, today we are looking at the P-39N-1. It is a special aircraft, not a typical premium aircraft, and we're going to take a look at some gameplay and see why I like this as one of my favorite Tier 6 premium planes in game. Let's take a look. Okay, so we are in the P-39. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a military base if I can. Yeah. So I like this plane because it's so well balanced, or at least it feels like it's well balanced. It's not the best at anything, but it can be kind of put into any role that you need it to be, as long as it's a light fighter type role. See if we can get this military base. Gotta remember I'm at Tier 6. It's okay to only be going 300 miles an hour at Tier 6. Like most American planes at this tier especially, it's relatively short range on the guns. But if you can get the 37 to be hitting, you're gonna do okay. Ow. Who dat? I actually hit a JU? Wow. Alright, so let's get back down to about 4,000 feet or so, and we shall continue on. Kind of have this plane set up a little weird. Why don't I have cooling? Trying not to overheat the guns. Excellent. Got ourselves a bomber. Now we'll head to the center here. See about flipping it.
A rocket has reached the target. Enemy objects damaged.
Oh goody. Up, add a boost because that's how I roll. I see, keeping decent momentum here. That's okay, we'll leave him alone. An SU-100, that's pretty high up for an SU-100. Let's see what else we got going on here. XP-44. He's got a nasty tail gunner on him, especially if he's any good with it. Hopefully he'll get distracted by the BF, and we can take advantage of that. Excellent. Yowzers, unfortunately a MiG is happy as a clam up here, so we'll see if we can do anything about him though. P-39 has pretty good altitude performance. I mean, I'm up at 7,900 feet. I am only at Tier 6, so it's pretty high up for Tier 6. I'd like to go ahead and get that multi-roll over there if at all possible. Keep on watching, but we've got an IL-2 below us, so it's a human as well, so let's see what we can do. If he even knows we're here, he might. Diving down. Whenever I'm attacking a ground pounder, I try not to just like stick behind him, right? And I try not to do the same thing every single time either, as far as left, right, center. I want him to not know where I'm going, just because I don't got time for all that. I don't want to be spending 5 minutes killing a ground pounder. Coolio. I guess we're gonna go over here and get this garrison, huh? It looks like we might need to go back and defend our military base.
Enemy is launching rockets at us from the military base. Take action.
Oh man, I need engine cooling so bad. Let's go over here, get this guy. If the 37's hitting, you can tear up a heavy fighter relatively easily. If it's not hitting, it's going to take you a long time. But that's why I like this particular plane over the Russian version of it. The Lend-Lease P-38Q, I think it is. Doesn't have that 37, I don't believe. And I can't imagine flying this plane without 37 mil. Makes a huge difference on the plane. Alright, so clearly he's paying more attention this time. Let's make sure we're coming at a sideways angle. Coolio. So kept that mountain between him and us, and that way he wasn't able to do too much to us too quickly. Alright, so we've got a P-38F over here. Tier 5 is still a pretty strong plane. Not if he's not paying attention, so luckily he's not paying attention. Alright, let's go ahead and I guess I'm gonna take care of these guys real quick. Got some boomerangs, and this plane has the maneuverability to stick with boomerangs pretty easily, especially bot ones. My 37's overheated, unfortunately. Cool. Excelente. Alright, so where do we want to go now? Now I just need to get some... There's no aircraft over there. Let's head over to the other garrison. We'll boost on over there. Don't need, if I just had engine cooling, it'd be super swell.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching.
Alright, let's go ahead and continue on.
Do you copy? Over.
They've taken that. We want to... I guess we're going to hang out here for a little while. So they'll be on their way here, I'm quite sure of it. Sergeant is on his way here. I'm sure he can see me as much as I can see him, but I need to sneak up on him. Dun 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 dun. Got the 37 hitting him until it overheats. Then we're gonna scoot out of the way here. And I guess he wasn't paying attention to me, or to paying attention to what was in front of him. And let's go ahead and get on here. He'll probably stand on his tail gunner to get me. The tail gunner on that plane can tear me up pretty quickly. Let's see what we can do here. Come on, bro. Yeah, I definitely want the engine cooling. This is like perfect example of when I'd want it. IL-1, don't see a lot of those. I didn't want to spend money on it. Come on. So I feel pretty comfortable getting this plane stuck in, especially if it's not like going against Yak or something of that nature, or Zero. Something like a multi-role is going to own pretty easily, and it's very comparable to some of the more tourney fighters up there. It's actually very, shenanigans. It's actually very well-rounded as far as its maneuverability is concerned. It's not the most tourney, but it's not untourney either. Come on. Where are we going here? Thank you. Why are you running away? Just make my life easier, could you? Ah. 'Tis a shame. Got ourselves a McCampbell though. Pretty nice 13,000. I didn't even feel like I did, you know, you didn't feel like you did the full potential of the P-39N-1. Let's head on back. Alright, so we were able to get 12 frags out of that. Decent amount of personal points, 13,000. Top on the team. Has some good support from our SE-100. Not that I saw him, but it is what it is. Felt bad for the IL-2. I kind of was picking on him. Yeah. So that is what it is. Got a McCampbell out of that, so it's not a bad game by any means. Got a decent amount of silver too. Tier 6 to get 134,000, I will certainly take it. This would have been 89,000 without a premium account, so still a pretty decent chunk. And so, you know, this particular video we hopped right into the gameplay, and I want to go over the plane now. I really enjoy the P-39, the American P-39, not the, I don't have the Lend-Lease Soviet P-39. Let's take a look at this plane in its entirety. You could tell, you know, it's got pretty darn good maneuverability, right? And the turn time's 9.4, so again, it's not going to be the world's best, but it's going to beat most of the things you run into. A Yak is going to have 8.3, so a decent amount better. You're right there with an LA-5, which is known to be a pretty good turn fighter. Let's see, 8.4 for the XP55, so XP55 and a Yak 1M are right there in line with each other. And we've got our Spitfire 5, which is a good second, better than the P-39 as well. So still really good. Yeah, you're going to get outturned by some of these other really turny planes, but this is good enough to keep you in a battle, keep you in a turn fight as needed. But where this particular plane really shines, it has decent altitude performance. It's got okay airspeed. It's not going to jump off the charts by any means, but it's going to keep you where you need to be. But where this plane shines is that 37 mil I was talking about. It's 170 damage per second. You are hitting pretty hard with it. It's very short range though. You'll notice that even the 50 cals are very short range at this particular tier. But you've got a lot of guns here. So you've got 4 guns that are your 7.6 mil. You got your 2 50 cal. You've got your 137. And if you can get all those on target, you'll do pretty well. So it's a good thing this plane does have good maneuverability, because effective firing range of 1,400 feet is pretty insignificant, right? But you can put out a lot of damage at once, and that's what I like about this particular plane. You can very easily get it on target and tear up those planes. You saw me do it against the ground pounders. I even did it against a bomber there. And so if you can get the 37 to hit at this tier, it's very strong for its capabilities. As far as service is concerned, I've gone for kind of a blended build, so to speak. I've got the lightweight airframe. I did want to get a little bit more maneuverability. Again, I want to be able to be on the upper echelon when it comes to maneuverability. Yeah, I know I can't outmaneuver a Yak 1M or a Spitfire 5, but I can outmaneuver basically everything else, not at a 0, of course. But I also wanted to get decent acceleration here. I need to upgrade these, of course, and I highly recommend engine cooling. The engine doesn't get knocked out all that often, and so in this particular plane, I don't feel like it's a necessity. When I first started playing the game, I put everything on the manual engine restart. Alright, so this is not a plane that is available all the time. You can't get it in a premium shop whenever you feel like it. It's not available in the tech tree here. Whereas the P-39Q-15, the Russian version of it, is available all the time, whether you buy it in the premium shop or here on for gold in the tech tree. The reason why I feel like this particular plane is better than the Russian version is because you've actually got more guns. Those little 7.62 mil machine guns that you've got on the outside here are on this this particular plane, the P-39N, and they're not on the P-39Q. So that gives slightly larger gun armament value. The P-39Q has slightly more hit points, 10 more hit points, has slightly better airspeed, you know, like 605 compared to 600, so it's basically negligible. The turn time's the same, everything else about the two planes is the same, or at least close enough to where it doesn't really matter. The biggest difference again is just having those 4 little like mini machine guns, as I like to call them, and I think that's why I like this plane so much. Is no matter what's in front of you, you've got something that can shoot it down. So if you see this particular plane available, I'd recommend getting it. I believe I got this as something in a supply crate, because I don't recall when there was a sale on them or when there was something special going on. I could be completely wrong. But I thoroughly enjoy this particular plane. It's one of two go-to Tier 6 light fighters that I tend to go to quite a bit. And actually that's expanding daily as we speak. But I really enjoy this. I enjoy the Spitfire 5 DB605 as well, which is available at all times. But they're completely different planes, and hopefully I'll be posting a video about that plane in the future. But yeah, were you able to get your hands on a P-39N? If so, do you enjoy it as much as I enjoy it? I really would have liked to seen some more P-39s in-game in the normal tech tree, but it is what it is. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll try to post some more of this particular plane in the future because it's just a fun plane. Have a good day.